Good afternoon and welcome to today's St. Francis Fighting Saints soccer matchup against the Madonna Crusaders. Game number 2 of the NAIA schedule this year for the Fighting Saints. Terry Bonadonna with you on the play-by-play for today's game as the Saints try to pick up their first victory of the year, taking on a Madonna team that comes in with a record of 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. It's a gray, drizzly day here in Joliet as the players convene down on ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium. We're ready to get this thing started. Saints are in white with yellow shorts. They'll be going from right to left on your screen here in the first half, shooting into the north goal, and the Madonna Crusaders get the first kick of the ball. They're in black. They're going from left to right, and they are shooting into the south goal for the first 45 minutes of today's game. We're underway. Madonna in possession. We'll get you the starters for both teams in just a moment. Right now, Alyssa Benvenuti in control of the ball for Madonna. It's booted downfield, and for the first time, it moves into St. Francis territory. Chased down by number 16, Grace Thomas. Thomas looking for the cross. It's deflected away by the Fighting Saints defense. Right back to Grace Thomas. Thomas rolls it down towards the corner. Melanie Porter trying to keep it alive for the Crusaders. She can't do it. Olivia De La Rosa clears it for the Fighting Saints. Chip down once again towards Thomas along the sideline. It's out of bounds. Throw in for St. Francis. You've already met several of them, but here are the starters for Madonna today. Christina Moracini, Sierra Nissan, Brianna Masariski, Melanie Porter, Megan Verant, Grace Thomas, Emma Worthman, Alyssa Benvenuti. As Madonna puts it back in play, there's the cross to the opposite end of the box. Nothing doing there for Alexandra Sherlock, who tries to chase it down. Sherlock and Kristen Four are the last 2 starters on the field for Madonna as Ellie Provo, the Fighting Saints goalkeeper, steps up and picks up that loose ball right in front of the net. An easy stop for her. No shot there for Madonna. It's punted away by Provo. The starters for the Fighting Saints include Olivia De La Rosa, Olivia Hollander, Brittany Cook, Madison Hanyon, Isabel Serta, Martina Katurba, Haley Hogue, Grace McDermott, Litzy Mendez, and Kelly Petrowski. This is De La Rosa along the sideline, poked away by Benvenuti. Here come the Crusaders once again. Pushed into the middle of the field, deflected away, but right back to Madonna. Now on a little bit of a run into the box. That's Megan Verant, halted. Cleared away by Brittany Cook. Good defensive stand right there for St. Francis. Fighting Saints are trying to counter. They've got the ball in the middle of the field. Martina Katurba makes a run. We've got a collision as players from both teams fall. Katurba ran head-on into Brianna Masariski. But no harm done. Both were able to get up pretty routinely. And no whistle blew on that play, not until the ball went out of bounds. And still no whistle for the ball going out of bounds, but it is a throw-in for Madonna. 42.5 minutes to play, just over 2.5 minutes into the game. Cutting back towards the middle of the field, Porter deflected away, out of bounds. And nicely handled right there by the Fighting Saints, making sure it went out for a throw-in and not a corner kick. That was Haley Hogue on the defense. Here's Sierra Nissan. Nissan trapped in the corner, knocked away by De La Rosa. De La Rosa watches it roll out of bounds, and it was last touched by Madonna. Fighting Saints get to throw it in. The goalkeepers in today's game for Madonna, Brooke Bruletti. Starting for the 5th time this year. She has started all 5 games this season for the Crusaders. Again along the sideline, trapped in the corner. There's a cross attempt, but right into the waiting hands of Ellie Provo. Bruletti has not played every game, or I should say she has not played every minute this season for Madonna. She has played every game. She has started every game. 4 out of 4, and she has not allowed very much. 0.31 goals allowed per game in her 4 this year. It's primarily a result of some great defense. She's made 6 saves only over the course of her 4 games. So shots figure to be tough to come by for the Fighting Saints today, who play with just 1 striker up top. It's the junior Kelly Petrowski. Saints make a run here looking for Petrowski, but it's knocked away by the Crusader defense. Towards the middle of the field, rolled towards the sideline, and picked off by the Crusaders, knocked out of bounds, last touched by St. Francis. Madison Hanyon put her foot on that ball. In the Fighting Saints zone, it's Madonna possession. Not for long. Hanyon knocks it away. Brooke Bruletti has one shutout among her 4 starts this year. Team's record, I should say, and her 2-0-1. So their one loss came when Alex Thomas occurred in their second game of the year against the University of Windsor in Ontario. It was a home game for them. So they did play it in Michigan, not in Ontario. 5 minutes gone in this game, no score, no real opportunity. Knocked out of bounds by Hanyon, a throw-in coming up here for the Crusaders. Goalkeeper for the Saints today is Ellie Provo. Provo has started both of their games this year. She's played every minute, 95 of them so far. Provo allowed 2 goals in her first game. She made 4 saves. Naturally an 0-1 record for the goalkeeper, as the team has an 0-1 record. De La Rosa turns and fires that ball towards the box, and an easy pickup there for Brooke Bruletti. No score, 6 minutes in. First time Bruletti has touched the ball so far today. She punts it towards the far sideline. It bounces just shy of midfield. Rolls across the 50-yard line on the football markings. Saints trying to control possession here. It's Litzy Mendez tapping it back to Grace McDermott, who sends it downfield, deflected right back. 2 teams battling for possession at midfield. Mendez again working with it for the Saints, taken away. One at the midfield by the Crusaders. Haley Hoag's kick is turned back. There's Madison Hanyon stepping up, sending it downfield. Trying to find Isabel Serta. Serta's not able to control it. Here's Madonna in possession again, losing it to Katurba. Katurba rolls it ahead for Serta. 2 Saints against 3 Crusaders in on this play, so Katurba pulls it back. There's Grace McDermott chipping it downfield. Nobody there in white. Now Madonna makes a run. Megan Varant kicks it down the middle of the field. Headed away by Hoag. The ball loose in the box now. Across. Madison Hanyon gets it away, and Hanyon clears it. Good defense by Hanyon. Still at the edge of the box. There's a kick from long range, and the shot goes wide and hits the side of the net out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for Ellie Provo. No score after 7 minutes and some change. There's the kick from Provo down the middle of the field. Kelly Petrowski taps it off to her left. Olivia Hollander keeps it alive for the Saints. Lost to the team in black. Grace Thomas. Back to Alyssa Benvenuti. Benvenuti pushes it ahead for Porter. Melanie Porter works against Haley Hoag. Hoag knocks it away. Back to Madonna though, Sierra Nissan. Nissan towards the middle of the field, rolls it into the box and rolls it out of bounds. Several feet wide of the net to the left side. Out for a goal kick for Provo. Along the sideline, Porter crosses it too high, and it hits over the net. I think that one got off the upright of the football goalposts. And so it's another goal kick for Ellie Provo. Provo's kick goes off to the right side. Now in the middle of the field, sent back by Madonna. 40 yards out, tapped over to the right side. Alyssa Benvenuti. Benvenuti crosses, nobody there. It hovers in front of the net. Alexandra Sherlock came racing in, and Sherlock forced the Fighting Saints defense to knock that ball out of bounds. So it's out for a corner kick, first corner attempt of the game. Sherlock sets it up. Sherlock's kick comes in short in front of the net, knocked away. Now it's loose in front of the net and poked in. That's a goal for Madonna, and they take a 1-0 lead just over 9 minutes in, coming off of a corner kick. Madonna strikes first. 1-0 our score. I'm not sure who got that one in. There was a big crowd full of people. It was off the corner kick from Alexandra Sherlock. And the ball just kind of pinballed around a little bit. Ellie Provo tried to stick with it, but it changed direction too many times. Provo was not able to make the stop. And ultimately, some open net on the left side. It just popped in right past her. So 1-0 Madonna, 35 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock at the time of the goal. Scored in the 10th minute by Madonna. And now the Fighting Saints will look to answer. Out of bounds along the far side. It was last touched by Madonna. St. Francis gets to throw it in, about 15 yards shy of midfield. There's Cook headed back. And now Cook steps up again. Cross midfield, a ball a little bit too wide of Kelly Petrowski's head. Isabel Serta tries to chase it down, but it's tapped back by Kristen Four to her goalkeeper, Brooke Bruletti. Bruletti tries to get it back to Four, but hit a little bit too hard, out of bounds. Throw in for the Fighting Saints. Tossed into Petrowski. Over to Martina Katurba at the edge of the box, and she loses it. Brittany Cook steps up on defense, playing against Melanie Porter. Cook's the one who knocked that ball out. Far sideline, a throw in for Porter and company. Porter won't take the throw. Instead, it's Alexandra Sherlock who lobs it in for Sierra Nissan. Nissan tries to get it right back to Sherlock, out of bounds. The Saints throw it back in. Far sideline, right at midfield. Nice positioning there by Kelly Petrowski, trying to keep it alive, to no avail. Madonna takes it away. Big kick by Moskzariski. Taken away once again by the Fighting Saints. Two teams just exchanging possessions right now. Kelly Petrowski tries to turn it into an attack. Deflected over to Martina Katurba. Katurba rolls it out to Serta on the far side. Serta looking for help on the cross. Good defense there by Emma Worthman. Worthman steps in front of Serta and knocks it away. She keeps it alive and kicks it out of bounds. Throw in from the sideline. Here's McDermott. McDermott sends it into the box. The offsides flag up there, I think, on Olivia De La Rosa. And a free kick here for Madonna. Mario Cortez and Olu Afuapi are the side judges in today's game. Miguel Chavez is the head official for this one. No real calls by the freshman Haley Hogue. Madonna inbounds it again into the box. There's a cross from Nissan and a diving, stopped by Ellie Provo. Nice play by Provo. Nissan sent that one in front of the net. I think she was looking to set up Melanie Porter. Porter came streaking in right down the middle of the field, unchecked. If Provo had not been able to dive in front of that ball and dive on top of it, Porter probably would have had an easy goal right behind her. But Provo was able to halt that. So it's still 1-0 Madonna, 13 minutes into the action. There's Grace Thomas at midfield. Thomas turns to send it upfield and got a little overzealous with the defense in tow. She knocked it out of bounds. Across midfield. Hogue taps it towards the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in for Madonna. Tossed in along the sideline. Madison Hanyon sends it right back out. Madonna set to toss in again. Headed by Hanyon. Off to Kelly Petrowski. Two teams exchange headers. As Ellie Provo went out to punch the ball, she missed it. It left the net open. Grace Thomas had a wide open shot, or at least it seemed like she did until a couple of defenders got in her way. So now Thomas gets the corner kick. Knocked in front of the net. Provo this time makes a diving save. Good save by Ellie Provo, as Megan Verant was looking to make it 2-0, trying to improve to 2 for 2 on corner kicks today. Crisis averted by the Fighting Saints. Their deficit remains just 1 goal. Madonna trying to extend their lead again. Long run for Thomas, too far out in front of her. Porter trying to hook up with Thomas, and a little bit too strong on that kick. And it rolled out of bounds. It's another goal kick here for the Fighting Saints. 1-0 Madonna leads just over 15 minutes in. Madonna's had far more opportunities early in this game than St. Francis has, and I mentioned that at the outset. Madonna's defense has been very strong. Through the first 4 games of this year, they've only allowed 10 total shots. 8 of them have resulted in saves. Actually, I take that back. They have allowed 8 shots to be saved. They've allowed 4 goals this year. But not a whole lot of opportunities for the opposition against Madonna this year, despite the fact that the Crusaders do have 1 loss and 1 tie on the season. There's Thomas rolling it towards the middle and intercepted. Here comes Grace McDermott pushing it ahead for Serta, and it's knocked away by Emma Worthman out of bounds along the far sideline. Tossed in by McDermott, looking for Petrowski. A sea of black shirts around her. She was able to push it downfield anyway. Nicely done by Petrowski, and Brianna Motzariski sends it back out of bounds. Another throw-in. Towards the middle of the field. This is Mendez. Let's see, Mendez rolls it out to Petrowski with the neon green shoes. There's the cross, and there's a header out of harm's way by Motzariski. Towards the sideline, it's out of bounds. Tossed in off the right foot of Katurba. She's not able to control it. Ball loose. There's Grace McDermott stepping up from the defensive line, and McDermott has it stolen away immediately. And now a big run from Madonna, trying for a quick counter strike. Here's Ellie Provo stepping up, a little bit too quick that time for Madonna. Provo waits for that ball to move into the box and picks it up cleanly, punting it away across midfield. In the midfield circle, Olivia Hollander steps up, kicks it down towards Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa not able to track it down before Emma Worthman gets there, and Worthman takes possession from Madonna. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by St. Francis. Throw in here for Madonna. That's Nissan. Sierra Nissan hits it over her head and back across midfield, but out of bounds. Didn't hit that ball quite the way she wanted to. Throw-in coming up for the Fighting Saints, just over 27 minutes to play. First half, it's 1-0 Madonna. They scored a goal off a corner kick in the 10th minute. Let's see, Mendez to Petrowski. Petrowski crosses it towards Isabel Serta. Here comes Olivia Hollander backing in. Off to the left side, Madison Hanyon. Hanyon looking for Serta again, a little bit too far off to the right. Pass drifted and was intercepted. Kicked out of bounds. At midfield, a throw-in for the Saints. Hanyon takes it, bounces it in once, right off of Grace Thomas. Pushed downfield by Benvenuti. And intercepted there by Haley Hogue. Cleared by Brittany Cook, near sideline at midfield. Benvenuti steps up over Grace Thomas. Off the head of Martina Katurba and out of bounds. Another throw-in for Madonna. Grace Thomas steps up. Tosses it into Melanie Porter. Porter tries to cut it back towards the middle of the field. She passes to her left, gets it right back from Sierra Nissan. Down in the corner, there's the cross attempt, and it hits off the side of the net. Couldn't put that one at the angle she wanted, so Ellie Provo watched it sail out. It was deflected by St. Francis, so we've got a corner kick here. Taken by Grace Thomas. This is how they got their goal from the opposite corner. Almost got another one last time. Thomas sends it in, backside. There's a turn and a shot, and it's deflected away. Well defended by Brittany Cook. Now Kelly Petrowski tries to make a run. That ball out in front of her and out of bounds. Petrowski just a step behind there as that ball is knocked away a little bit too harshly by Madonna's defense. Petrowski was apparently the last one to touch it, so the throw-in belongs to Madonna. Alyssa Benvenuti backs up to make the throw. 25 minutes to play in the first half. Slight delay before we continue. And the clock stops at 24 minutes 52 seconds with an injured Crusader down on the field. It's Alexandra Sherlock. Sherlock has been playing forward on the far side, and she's the one actually who sent the corner kick towards the middle of the field, the one that created our first goal and what is to this point the only goal of the game. I'm not sure what her involvement in that play was. I don't think she was anywhere near the ball, but something happened to her. She's being helped off the field right now. Walking off mostly on her own power, but she is limping slightly as she gets a little bit of help on her way out. Julianne White, a junior from Royal Oak, Michigan, transferred in from New York, Oswego, comes in to replace Sherlock. It's our first substitution of the game. It comes as a result of an injury. Knocked out of bounds there by Petrowski, I think. Yep, it's a Madonna throw-in. Petrowski takes it away towards the middle of the field. Martina Katurba makes a run. Won't get to it, though, before Kristen Four. And they're dealing with Alexandra Sherlock's right leg on the sideline right now. Again, I'm not sure exactly what happened to her. I didn't see that side of the field when she went down. But she did walk herself off the field. Didn't need too much help to get off. Play continues at midfield. Possession won by Madonna. Melanie Porter loses possession, knocked out of bounds. Madonna throw from just shy of midfield. Tossed in. Down the sideline, Brittany Cook watches it go out. And Grace McDermott will toss it back into play for St. Francis. Tossed in towards Serta, deflected off to Martina Katurba. Saints make a little bit of a run here. And the midfield circle. This is De La Rosa turning, kicking it off to the left side, and nobody is there. She may have been looking for Madison Hanyon to make a run. Maybe he was trying to find Kelly Petrowski coming into that direction. Neither one was able to get there. Throw in from Madonna. They got it back in play. Saints nearly took it away. Now they do take it away. Madison Hanyon. Off to her right. This is Serta. One touch to Litzy Mendez. Right back to Isabel Serta. Coming down along the right side. Kristen Four close behind her. Two of them battle all the way down into the corner. Knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by St. Francis. So no corner kick. It is a goal kick for Madonna. And it'll be taken by Brooke Bruletti, their freshman goalkeeper from Commerce Township, Michigan. Kick goes off towards the left, taken away by St. Francis, and taken right back by Madonna. Halfway through this first period of the game, 22.5 minutes to play, 1-0, Madonna has the lead. They scored off a corner kick in the 10th minute of action. Early in that 10th minute. Well defended there by Litzy Mendez. Here's Mendez passing it off to Serta, and Serta kicks it away. And Worthman downfield the other direction, and the Saints watch it roll. Goes out of bounds along the sideline. St. Francis gets the opportunity to reinsert the ball into play. Tossed in, going back the other direction, and lost out of bounds. Last touched again by Madonna. There's Varant for the Crusaders, back towards Four. Worthman steps up, sends it downfield. Stopped initially by the St. Francis defense, cleared there by Hollander towards the sideline, finds Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa works to keep it alive, turning it back towards the middle of the field, and won again by Madonna. Knocked out of bounds by St. Francis. Thrown into Nissan. Nissan working against Hollander. Nissan looks for help. She turns it towards the middle of the field. Now cuts back, and Olivia De La Rosa jumps in. De La Rosa pushes downfield towards Kelly Petrowski. Petrowski doesn't have a lot of help right now, so she pulls it back, and now she's got two strikers in front of her. Petrowski to her left, taps it off to the midfielder, Hanyon. Hanyon down the middle of the field, deflected back, but right to Serta. Serta to Katurba. Now Kelly Petrowski, long-range shot, right in front of the net. De La Rosa is offsides. It looked to me like Petrowski may have been trying to take a shot there rather than looking to set up Olivia De La Rosa. The shot came in short, if indeed that is what it was, but De La Rosa was right in position to knock it into the net, but she got a little bit too far out in front of the play. So she's called for offsides. And a promising looking attack there from St. Francis does not end up netting them the equalizer. Still 1-0 Madonna. Here's Olivia Hollander. Back to Madison Hanyon. Hanyon chips it down the middle of the field, right off the chest of Worthman. Back to the head of Martina Katurba. Now let's see Mendez. Mendez turns it the right direction and loses the ball. Here's Olivia Hollander taking it back for St. Francis. Brittany Cook back ahead to Katurba. Katurba rolls it down the middle of the field, intercepted by Worthman. 19.5 minutes to play here. First half, 1-0, Madonna on top. Into De La Rosa. De La Rosa against Kristen Four, and Four knocks it out of bounds. That's Four, F-O-O-R. In case you were wondering, I assume you were. Tossed in by McDermott, headed back by a Crusader. Melanie Porter along the sideline. Brittany Cook steps in, punches it away, out of bounds. Madonna tosses it back in. Off the head of Julianne White, out of bounds. This time the St. Francis throw is coming. Petrowski tries to make a little run on it. Brianna Masariski is there instead. Good deflection by Brittany Cook, and she ends up finding Martina Katurba. Katurba back to Cook. Swung back to the left side and all the way to the back line. Ellie Provo goes underneath her foot. Provo goes back and has to kick it away. Just a routine pass back to Ellie Provo there, and Provo stuck her foot a little bit too high. Wasn't able to stop the ball. It rolled underneath it. And that allowed Melanie Porter to make a run towards the net. That could have been very dangerous right there for St. Francis, but Provo was able to get to the ball just ahead of Porter and knock it out of bounds. It is a corner kick. A couple of subs coming on for Madonna, but first let's take a look at the kick here. Porter gives it a big kick in front of the net, headed away initially by the Fighting Saints. That was Mendez. And back to Mendez again. She sends it off towards the near sideline, and it is cleared. Masariski trying to keep it alive and can't do it. Subs for Madonna were Destiny Carr and Karina Arnold, making their first appearances of the game. Came in right before the corner kick. St. Francis has not yet had a corner kick, 4 of them for Madonna. And all 4 have set up scoring chances. I guess, in a way, every corner kick by itself is a scoring chance, but one of those corner kicks did result in their only goal so far. Headed back towards midfield. Here's Porter. Melanie Porter battling with Haley Hogue, and Hogue wins that battle. Dueling number 13. Porter wins out this time around, takes it away, and immediately runs right into Isabel Serta. Serta knocks it away out of bounds. Throw in here for the Crusaders. Tossed in by Benvenuti to Destiny Carr. Carr sends it up in the air behind her. Ball loose at midfield, and Mendez steps in but loses possession right away to Christina Moracini. Here's Katurba heading it towards Petrowski, taken away by Moracini. Porter downfield. Or Verant, sorry, that was Verant down the field. Moracini trips up Martina Katurba, and a foul is called, a rare foul in this game. With just over 16 minutes to play, free kick for St. Francis. They've got to get the ball back down towards midfield where the foul occurred. And that's where Olivia Hollander will take her kick. Plays it Cook, going further to the right. Down the sideline towards De La Rosa. Nothing doing, taken away. Grace McDermott stepped in front of Kristen Four there. Knocked it out of bounds. Throw in for Madonna. Off the head of Kristen Four. Back to Kelly Petrowski. Grace McDermott again downfield looking for De La Rosa. And again, Moricini steps in the way. Saints get it back though. Working their way forward. Petrowski on the cross looking for Serta. Well defended. Ball is chased towards the back line and out of bounds. Alyssa Benvenuti went with that ball the whole way. Never touched it though. So it is a goal kick here for Madonna. Goal kick is taken by Porter, and it goes out of bounds. It was deflected by St. Francis. Madonna will get the throw in here after they bring in 3 substitutes. Jenny Simmons is in with Claire Konopatsky. And it looks like Madison Servey is the third player coming on. Headed out of bounds by Destiny Carr. St. Francis gets the throw in here. Deflected back immediately by Masaritsky. Here come the Crusaders. Cross a little bit behind Veront that time. Jenny Simmons was looking for her. Didn't put enough on it. We've got a whistle here, I think, going against Moricini. She was down on the ground trying to play with that ball, keeping it away from Kelly Petrowski. And kicking the ball while she was lying on the ground causes the foul to be called against Madonna. From right at midfield, St. Francis gets a kick here. Olivia Hollander. Hollander got the defense stepping up, and she rolls it into the box where Ellie Pro. Seconds to go. First half, 1-0. Madonna leads. They scored their goal on a corner kick in the first 10 minutes. Back into Madonna territory, Petrowski trying to put some pressure on Masaritsky. Nothing doing. Knocked out of bounds by Madonna. Far sideline, just short of midfield. Throw in for the Fighting Saints. Tossed in along the sideline. Deflected towards the middle of the field. Here's Martina Katurba. Katurba kicks it off of Karina Arnold. The ball taken away by Madonna. Looking for Arnold again. Instead, Haley Hogue steps in the way. Hogue rolls it ahead for Katurba. Katurba turns and fires down the field. Along the far side, Isabel Serta makes a run. Serta gives the cross to Olivia De La Rosa, and a little bit too far out in front of De La Rosa. It ends up going out the back end on that kick along the near sideline, out of bounds in the corner. It's a throw in for Madonna. Nice idea there. Not a bad cross, just a little bit out in front of her. De La Rosa's there to steal the throw in, and it's poked away from her out of bounds. St. Francis will get the throw. Under 12 minutes to play in the first half. Tossed in by Hanyon to De La Rosa. Masaritsky kicks it out of bounds. Thrown back in again by Hanyon to Petrowski. Kelly Petrowski turns and pushes it into the box. Taken by the defense. Worthman hits it off to the left side. Ball bounces around. Still loose and finally tracked down by Litzy Mendez. Mendez back to the defense. Ahead to Martina Katurba. Katurba loses possession. Tackled away there by Madison Servey. On the other sideline, it rolls out of bounds. Thrown back in by the Saints. Katurba. Back to the middle of the field and Hollander. Olivia Hollander. Big kick with the right foot and too big. Out of bounds on the far side of the field. Little shove to the ground, nothing called, and now there is a whistle. Martina Katurba got pushed down by Madison Servey. A delayed whistle, but once St. Francis was not able to recapture possession, the whistle blew. Servey called for the foul. Free kick here from about 43 yards out for St. Francis, just to the right of the net. Kick taken by Hollander, going deep in front of the net, and it bounces once and then out of bounds right past the net, out for a goal kick. Ten minutes to play in the first half. Goal kick here for the Crusaders. On the right side, to the waiting foot of Megan Varant. Down the sideline. Here's Haley Hogue trying to keep the ball away from Jenny Simmons. Hogue fakes it back to the goalkeeper, now turns it around and sends it up down the sideline instead. Alyssa Benvenuti steps up. Benvenuti puts it in front of the net. Headed once by four, but it goes out of bounds. Substitution for St. Francis. I believe this is the first that they've pulled today. Arely Sanchez is in for Isabel Serta. That's for the final 9 minutes of the first half, I would assume. And maybe we'll see her start the second half as well. Towards the back line, turning it and sending it out of bounds is Brittany Cook. But before the ball went out, the foul was called on Madonna. So instead of a throw-in, it's a free kick. There it is down the middle of the field, headed back. Destiny Carr pushes it to the right side. Madison Hanyon defending her the whole way. Hanyon knocks it away and out of bounds. Carr gets to throw it in. Martina Katurba comes up with the steal. Katurba rolls it ahead. Knocked away. Petrowski gets it back for the Saints. Over to her right. Can't keep it alive. This is the Saints on defense now. Haley Hogue pushes it to her left, keeping that ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming up from Madonna. 8 minutes to play, first half. Headed by McDermott towards the sideline, kept in bounds by Kristen Four, and not this time. McDermott turns, and she does send it out along the sideline, down in the far corner. Into the box, there's a cross. Here's Ellie Provo stepping up, the ball is loose, and the whistle blows. As Provo tried to make the catch, she was interfered with. So she can set it up and take a good free kick. Here's Madonna. This is Simmons, or Karina Arnold rather, passing it backwards. Madonna taking their time on this attack. They've got the 1-goal lead. Martina Katurba hits it high in the air, bounces right around midfield. Headed by the Saints to keep it alive, but pushed back the other way immediately by Madonna. Madison Servey ahead for Jenny Simmons. And again, well defended by St. Francis. Thrown in by Madonna, bounces once, headed backwards, and cleared by Olivia Hollander. Over on the right side, taken away by Madonna. There's a cross and a quick pick. Nice little interception there by St. Francis. Now here they come on the run. Martina Katurba turns it upfield and runs right into Emma Worthman. There's McDermott. McDermott bounces it once ahead. Tap back to Katurba. Katurba over the heads of the defense, looking for Kelly Petrowski on the run. Petrowski can't get there fast enough, though. Bounces into the hands of Brooke Bruletti. Bruletti, once again today, has not been challenged too much. She also, once again, has been able to hold back the opposing team. She's been brilliant in goal all year. Madonna's trying to double their lead, but the St. Francis defense stepped up in a good way. Out of bounds. Hanyon taps it to De La Rosa. De La Rosa loses possession to Claire Konopatsky. Kelly Petrosky taps it towards the middle of the field. Ball is loose. To claim it, Madonna comes on. Megan Barant. Off to the left side, Kristen Ford, long run, out of bounds. St. Francis throw in with just about 5 minutes to play in the first half. Sideline, out of bounds. Sanchez tried to keep that one alive, to no avail. Back towards the side of the box. Cleared for at least a moment by the St. Francis defense. De La Rosa tries to jump in and take that ball. She does. Good play by De La Rosa. Down the far sideline, she sends it. Taken away. Ball stuck at midfield. Either side looking for an advantage here. Sanchez loses it to Musariski, and she sends it out of bounds. Saints set to throw it in. Trailing by a goal. They're looking to even this one up before halftime. Olivia De La Rosa sits down. Mary Kate Hynek is in. Hynek has appeared in each of the first 2 games for St. Francis. There's the go-ahead to throw the ball back onto play. Off the head of Petrosky. Over to Litzy Mendez. Mendez rolls it to her right. Sent ahead, down for the corner for Sanchez. Sanchez's first pass attempt is deflected out by Claire Konopatsky. Back in for the Fighting Saints. Running out of time to tie it up before halftime. Mendez trying to turn to face the goal. Too many good defenders. She splits a pair of them. But Emma Worthman is on the back end to clean it up. It's a quick clearance. Now McDermott turns, crosses in front of the net. Petrosky, one tap. Gives it up to Sanchez on the right. Sanchez takes a shot. It's deflected and cleared. Initial shot was not taken all that hard, but it was right on target. Bruletti needed to make the save. She left a rebound right in front of the net. But Alyssa Benvenuti was there in a hurry to clean it up. Benvenuti immediately cleared it. And there goes the best scoring chance of the game so far for the Saints. Little tumble for Konopatsky down on the far side. She's up and ready though. 2:20 to play in the first half. There's a deflection. Ball knocked back to the Madonna defense. Benvenuti kicks it all the way back to Bruletti. Bruletti, the goalkeeper, pushes it back down the middle of the field where she's intercepted. Litzy Mendez tries to work her way to the right side, a little bit too far right, with the help of Madison Servey. Knocked out, the Saints get to throw it in. Saints trying to tie it up before halftime. This might be their last good chance, who knows. Kelly Petrosky turns, kicks it towards the net on one bounce. It's played cleanly by Bruletti, an easy stop for her that time. Bruletti directs her offense downfield. There's her punt. Bounces a few times. Madison Hanyon touches it defensively. Madonna working forward. Karina Arnold into the corner. Arnold keeps it in bounds, or did she? She did not. St. Francis will get a throw in here. And right back out of bounds. Off of Martina Katurba, rolls back out the sideline. So now it's the first, or the last good chance for Madonna here in the first half. Katurba back towards midfield. headed away by Destiny Carr. Battle for the ball, won by St. Francis. Down the middle of the field, long run back for Masaryski. Risky keeps going. And finally kicks it out of bounds. St. Francis gets the throw here. They've got just 20-plus seconds in order to get this first goal. Mary-Kate Hynek has it knocked away from her out of bounds by Destiny Carr. And now they're down to their final 12 seconds. Into Kelly Petrowski. There's the cross from Petrowski. Coming in from the back end. Nothing happening. One last shot into the box. It's loose. Mary-Kate Hynek comes in and a sliding save made with 1 second on the clock. Brooke Bruletti saves a goal. We would have been tied at 1 at halftime. Bruletti came sliding in to stop a wide open Mary-Kate Hynek from what would have been her first goal of the year. Instead, we remain 1-0 in favor of the visiting side. Madonna on top after 45 minutes, 45 more minutes of action to come. And we'll have that for you in just a little bit. 15 minutes on the clock right now for halftime. So I'll be back in just a bit to bring you second half action. 1-0. Madonna has the lead. Just about set to start the second half here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. The Fighting Saints of St. Francis against the Crusaders of Madonna. Terry Bonadonna with you for another 45 minutes here as Madonna holds a 1-0 lead. The visiting team leading the Saints after an early goal that came off of a corner kick. And now we're ready to start the second half of action. St. Francis starts moving forward quickly to begin things here. Madonna takes it away off the back line, and they immediately reverse position. Going from right to left now in the second half, Madonna loses control. Right back to the Saints as Martina Katurba takes it away and is immediately dragged to the ground by Melanie Porter. Porter is whistled for the foul. Katurba will retie her shoe as the Saints set up a free kick here. Saints, of course, going from left to right in the second half. In the first half, we saw just one goal scored. It was given to Grace Thomas, her third goal of the season. And for Thomas, it came off of a corner kick that was pushed in by Alexandra Sherlock. And that was an interesting situation for Madonna because it was such a well-executed corner kick. They had so many players in there. I wasn't sure which one of them actually put it in the back of the net at the time, but it was Grace Thomas who received credit for the goal. Now the Saints trying to answer as Grace McDermott pushes a little bit too far towards the corner, out of bounds for a goal kick. Saints had some opportunities to respond late in the first half. Their best chance actually came in the final seconds. I mean, the final seconds. It was with 1 second left that Mary-Kate Heineck was turned away by Brooke Bruletti, who made a really nice save. Bruletti had just 6 saves total through her first 4 games of the year. She had 3 in the first half of today's games. The Saints did do a pretty nice job of keeping the pressure on, even as they were not able to put any goals up on the scoreboard to tie it up. Inbounded by Grace McDermott and headed back the other direction towards the box. Knocked away by Madonna. Off the head of Moracini. They can't clear it. It's back in the box. Bruletti steps up and makes the stop there. Ellie Provo was the goalkeeper for the Saints in the first half. She also made 3 saves. 3 shots on goal for the Fighting Saints of St. Francis. 4 shots on goal for the Madonna Crusaders. Madonna took 8 shots total, 6 for St. Francis, and of course Madonna had the edge in both of those categories, but not by a wide margin, and that's because the Saints really did turn up the offensive pressure over the last 20 minutes or so, I would say, in that first half. For the first 20, 25 minutes of the first half, really controlled by Madonna, who tries to set up an opportunity for themselves right here. Melanie Porter in the box, nothing happening as Yadira Estrada steps up and picks it up. Estrada has been inserted into the net for the second half by St. Francis. Again, Ellie Provo saw 4 shots on target in the first half, allowed 1 goal, saved 3 of them. Provo had played all 90 minutes in the first game of the year and all 45 today, so Yadira Estrada is making her first appearance of the season for the second half of today's game. She may have to face a challenge here as the foul is called against St. Francis. Probably too far out for Madonna to put this free kick on goal, nearly 40 yards out and slightly off to the left. We'll see what Kristen Four has in mind as she backs up and sets herself for the kick. Here she comes. Kick is pushed right on net, and Yadira Estrada has no problem stopping it. That's why I say probably a little bit too far out to put it on target. It was on goal, but right at Yadira Estrada, who had plenty of time to react and easily was able to make the stop. Just over 3.5 minutes have gone by in the second half. St. Francis looking to tie the score at 1. Isabel Serta kicks the ball into the middle of the field looking for Kelly Petrowski. Petrowski's given a little shove in the back from Mazariski. And so the Fighting Saints get a free kick here from just a little bit beyond midfield. They play it short. Olivia Hollander working with Litzy Mendez. Hollander pushes it off to the far left side. Down along the sideline, that's Madison Hanyon booting it towards the box. Kristen Four's attempt to get it out of harm's way is squandered, but a whistle blows. And Emma Worthman is down on the ground, but she seems to be okay. She gets up and walks it off. A minor injury there, but she is all right. Worthman was getting a look at from the medical staff during halftime. Didn't seem like anything serious then, but she is apparently in a little bit of pain right now as the whistle blows to give the go-ahead for the free kick, and it is sent away by Madonna, but immediately turned back the other way. Isabel Cerda keeps it alive for the Saints. Cerda tries to push it through for Olivia De La Rosa, who makes a run and comes up short. Brooke Bruletti steps up and scoops that ball up before it's thrown off to the right side. Along the sideline and knocked out of bounds. Last touch there by Madonna. Just under 40 minutes to play in the first half. 5 minutes have gone, or in the second half rather, 5 minutes have gone by. Madonna has not been able to add to their lead. St. Francis, though, still looking for their first goal tonight. The ball loose down close to the box. It does hug the line on that box, and so it's playable for Brooke Bruletti, who is allowed to pick it up. Bruletti, the freshman goalkeeper, one of two freshman goalies who play for Madonna, Alex Thomas being the other. Madonna playing today for their third victory of the season, and they're 39 minutes away from getting it. But they've had a nice tight game today after a blowout win the last time they took the field just a couple of days ago up in Milwaukee. Yadira Estrada kicks it away to the left side. This is Mendez. Let's see, Mendez pushes it off to Martina Caturba on the right, taken away by Moricini. Moricini making her move to the left side, tries to roll it through, can't get it through. Brittany Cook steps in the way instead. Now Melanie Porter battling against Grace McDermott. It's pushed out of bounds by Porter. Or by McDermott, rather. McDermott was the last one to touch it. This is the second of back-to-back games for Madonna against CCAC opponents before they begin conference play shortly. On Friday, they were in Wisconsin taking on Cardinal Stritch University. Brittany Cook can't keep it alive. She knocks it out of bounds. It goes out the back line. It's going to be a corner kick here for Madonna. Saints have not had a corner kick yet. This is the fifth one for Madonna. And obviously they've been effective. That's how they got their only goal. Trying for another one here. Kick is sent in front of the net, and it's headed right back out of bounds. We'll see another corner kick. That was the least effective, I guess, that we've seen so far. Brittany Cook easily got in front of that ball, but right back out. So we've got another corner kick coming. This time they play it short to Sierra Nissan. Nissan sends it in front of the net, and Yadira Estrada has no problem picking that ball up in front. She'll send everybody down the field a little bit and get this ball out of the danger zone. 4-1 was the final score 2 days ago, Friday evening, when Madonna took care of Cardinal Stritch. Cardinal Stritch ranked number 17 in the country. So that is not an unimpressive win by any means, scoring 4 goals on them. And they're not perhaps quite off to the start that was expected, Stritch that is, with their lofty preseason ranking. Kicked away by Bruletti right to Cerda, and Cerda lost it off the first touch. Out of bounds for a Saints throw-in. Cardinal Stritch just 1-2-1 this year. Obviously not the start that they were anticipating, but still a 4-1 win for Madonna. Very impressive. And they've come here, and the Saints have handled them a little bit better so far, at least defensively. Knocked out of bounds by Madonna. Grace McDermott will throw it in. McDermott tosses it over the head of Olivia De La Rosa. Kelly Petrowski crosses it. Nobody there in white. And Kristen Four, or rather Benvenuti, is able to clear it for Madonna. Madonna still trying to get it out of their own defensive end. And now finally they do. 36 minutes and just a few seconds remain in the second half. It was right around the time in the first half that Madonna was able to get their goal, 10 minutes in, or just a little over 9 minutes in. There's a shot. Yadira Estrada is able to punch it down and pick it up off the one bounce. Nicely played by Yadira Estrada, turning away Grace Thomas, who scored her third goal of the season earlier today. Team leading 3 goals. Moricini for the Crusaders. Rolls it towards the sideline. And it's knocked out of bounds. Saints get to throw it in here. The win against Cardinal Stritch for Madonna was their first since their first game of the year. It was a 1-0 overtime victory against Huntington University back on August 20th. So prior to that win, it had been more than 2 weeks. As for the Saints, it's been more than 2 weeks since they had a chance at a win. The Saints set this one up for a free kick. They open up their season right here against Clark University on August 21st. 19 days later, they've got a chance to pick up their first win of the year against Madonna, but they trail 1-0 with just under 35 minutes to play. Here's Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa looking downfield for Kelly Petrowski. She's got Petrowski, but well defended there by Worthman. Picked back up by Katurba, over to Grace McDermott. The cross from McDermott, in between a couple of players. And Olivia Hollander tracks it down for the Fighting Saints. Good defense by Madonna. Litzy Mendez trying to keep it alive for the Saints, and she can't do it. Knocked out of bounds. It's a throw-in coming up here for St. Francis. There's Madison Hanyon towards the middle. It's knocked away by Nissan. Olivia Hollander. Hollander chips it in, and it's knocked away. Towards the back line, trying to prevent the corner kick, and they're able to. Worthman gets to that ball just a foot or so in front of the back line, pushes it out the side instead. So no corner kick. It is instead a throw-in here for Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa trying to find somebody to get it into. Finds Kelly Petrowski. She's double-teamed defensively. Risky clears it. Olivia Hollander comes in from the back line, puts it high in the air. De La Rosa's there with the header, but De La Rosa was offside. She never really got back onsides, I don't think, after her throw-in a few moments ago. The defense moved up. She didn't really go with them, and I don't know that that play was really going anywhere regardless. Hollander didn't get the touch that she was hoping for on that ball. But it is a free kick for Madonna. Mendez rolls it out to Madison Hanyon on the far sideline, and Hanyon can't track it down. It's out of bounds. Here's Madonna once again. Out of bounds. Last touch this time by the Crusaders. St. Francis gets the throw in. And it is Madison Hanyon who will insert the ball back into play. Taken away by Madonna. Jenny Simmons was trying to work her way downfield. It's taken away by the Fighting Saints again, though. Here's Isabel Serta. Off towards De La Rosa. De La Rosa loses it. Back to Nissan. Nissan gives it up to Brittany Cook. Here's Hollander. One touch to Katurba. Martina Katurba working down close to Kristen Ford. Trying to get by Ford, but Ford knocks it away. 32 minutes to go in this game. Simmons loses possession. Taken back by Madonna. And there's Grace McDermott. McDermott gets the ball away, but she is immediately knocked to the ground. And she's down on both knees right now. She got a knee, I think, there from Jenny Simmons. Inadvertent. Just two players working hard for the ball, running into one another, but McDermott obviously took the worst of it. Trying to pull herself up now. And after the whistle was blown, play was stopped. And the clock is now stopped as well. McDermott was not able to quickly get herself back up. So it stops at 31 minutes, 14 seconds, but McDermott is back on her feet. Walking around, and she jogs off the field on her own. Didn't need any help from the medical staff. She does head out for now. The game was stopped due to her injury, so she'll get a quick look here. And once we resume play, she'll be back on the field, I assume, very shortly. We're ready to resume, and the Saints will get the kick here. Saints playing a man down right now. 11 on 10 for the moment. There's Brittany Cook's kick. Crusaders are able to take it away. Karina Arnold passes towards the middle of the field. Grace Thomas in possession now. Thomas passes it off to the right side. She's got Benvenuti down the field towards the box and cleared by Brittany Cook as Grace McDermott comes back into the game on the opposite end of the field. As the ball goes out of bounds, Madonna gets to make a few of their substitutions. Megan Verant is back in the game. And Destiny Carr comes back in as well as Karina Arnold and Jenny Simmons head out. 1-0 Madonna leads. They scored a goal early. Since then it's been a stalemate, but Madonna's been able to make that early goal stand up. Destiny Carr loses possession. Cleared by Olivia Hollander. Hanyon's ball is knocked off of Grace Thomas out of bounds. The Saints will throw it back in. Sent in towards Isabel Serta. It rolls out of bounds. Knocked out again by Madonna. Hanyon will get another throw here with under a half hour to play. You can see Mendez is not able to keep that one alive. It trickles right back out. So as we get closer and closer to midfield, now Madonna's got a chance to turn the field around again as they throw it back in. Bounce towards the middle. It is taken by Verant. Verant down towards Destiny Carr. Carr making a run. There's a shot and a goal. Destiny Carr puts it in as she's able to work her way past the St. Francis defense. Yadira Estrada was the last line of defense. Estrada came sliding in, and Carr was able to push it just past her for the second goal of the afternoon. Madonna doubles their lead. That's a big one. Saints had been knocking at the door, keeping their chances alive, and now all of a sudden, with that one goal from Destiny Carr, it's going to be a tough hill to climb now for the Fighting Saints. Push downfield once we resume playing right out of bounds, so a goal kick here for Madonna. In the 61st minute, the sophomore Destiny Carr sends in her first goal of the season. She just checked in about a minute or two ago. She was out there for a while in the first half as well, so it's not her first appearance in the game, but did not start the second half, and I'm sure right about now Paul Patton's happy he put her back in. Good timing for it. She's able to score her first goal of the season right after re-entering play. Now the Saints looking for a quick answer, but they're called for a foul. Grace McDermott coming up from the back line, called for the foul, knocking over Melanie Porter. And that sets up a free kick for Kristen Four of Madonna. Madonna by 2 goals now. Saints will have to be a little bit more frantic, I would think, offensively. I don't know if you ever really want to be frantic. That might not be the best word, but I'll have to probably operate in a little bit more of a hurry with 28 minutes remaining to get them at least 2 goals just to send this one into overtime. Here's Petrowski towards the middle of the field, sent away by Madonna. Grace McDermott wants to control this ball, looking to turn it upfield. She does keep it in bounds, ahead to Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa makes 4 miss. And now De La Rosa looking for help, but Emma Worthman steps in before she can cross it. Worthman knocks it out of bounds. It is a St. Francis throw-in that gives time for Madonna to edge their defense back. Grace McDermott tosses it in to De La Rosa. De La Rosa back to Petrowski, and Petrowski tries to keep it alive for McDermott, but can't. It's out of bounds. That halts that run for St. Francis, at least for the time being. Inbounded by Madonna, cleared by Moricini. And Destiny Carr is able to get past Brittany Cook. Sends it towards the middle of the field, but stalled for the moment. Just under 27 minutes to play. Downfield for De La Rosa. Olivia De La Rosa's got a long run. Can't catch up with it. It's out of bounds. Madonna will take their time here on this throw-in. Kristen 4 sends it to Melanie Porter. Porter taps it back to Moracini, who kicks it past Olivia De La Rosa and downfield. At midfield, it's Olivia Hollander stepping up from the back line, pushing it down the middle. Isabel Cerda battles for that ball, can't win it. Ball is loose. Litzy Mendez is trying to secure it for the Fighting Saints. Mendez against two defenders, able to pull it away. Nice work by the freshman Litzy Mendez, but she does lose it on the second effort. Back to Olivia Hollander, and Hollander rolls it down the field and out of bounds for a goal kick. 2-0, Madonna leads, just under 26 minutes to play. Substitute comes on for Madonna. Julianne White is in for Melanie Porter. Far sideline. Madonna gets it across midfield. Heading their way down the field, Litzy Mendez jumps in front, knocks that ball away. Here comes Moracini, though. Moracini with Katurba close behind, kicks it downfield and cleared by Madison Hanyon. Back to midfield, the ball is loose. It's a race for it. Petrowski going up against Morzarinsky, but Morzarinsky is able to knock it out of bounds. Moskzaritsky, that is. Able to knock it out. That allows the rest of the defense to get back for Madonna. Though the Saints are still in possession, McDermott loses it to Julianne White. Olivia De La Rosa takes it back for the Fighting Saints. McDermott rolls it forward, cleared by Kristen 4. There's Hollander over to De La Rosa and out of bounds. Knocked out. That time it was last touched by Olivia Hollander. And so it is a throw-in for Madonna. Hollander did get to that ball after Sierra Nissan touched it. So the ball is at midfield and a whistle blows. This time it goes against the team in black. So a free kick coming up for St. Francis. Fighting Saints looking for a little offense here. They were outscored 2-1 by Clark University in their first game of the season. They've been outscored so far 2-0 in this one. Looking for the turnaround. There's a big kick from Olivia Hollander. Deflected back, De La Rosa. I think off somebody's hand on Madonna. I'm not sure who got that one, but it was a handball against Madonna. It might have been Sierra Nissan. So that means the Fighting Saints will have a good opportunity here. It's going to be their best looking chance on a set piece today. Ball is set up by Litzy Mendez. Mendez, the freshman from Joliet West High School, set to take this kick from just over 20 yards out, slightly to the right of the net. Madonna sets up the wall 10 yards downfield, or 8 yards downfield. Mendez set to put this one away. There's the shot, and it's high. Over the net, out of bounds. Good attempt from Litzy Mendez. Nothing to show for it. I guess a shot goes into the stats column for her. That's not necessarily what she was looking for there. She tried to go on target herself, and she put it a little bit too high. So the handball does not come back to hurt Madonna in the end. Here's Grace McDermott heading it downfield towards Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa chases it down in the corner, taps it off Kristen 4 and out of bounds, and now a corner kick for St. Francis. So they're getting a few more chances now these last few minutes. The free kick a moment ago, and now their first corner kick of the game. See if De La Rosa can make something out of this. Madonna scored their first goal of the game on a corner kick. St. Francis trying to do the same. There's the kick from De La Rosa. In front of the net, past the head of Madison Hanyon on the back end. Kicked off by Cerda, but deflected, knocked away. Nothing on the corner kick. The Saints maintain possession on the throw-in, far side of the field. Cleared for the moment by Madonna. Saints keep the pressure on, though. Into the box, De La Rosa working against 4, and the whistle blows. 21 minutes, 45 seconds to play in this game. Just about halfway through the second, a little bit more than halfway through the second. St. Francis trails 2-0. They've been putting a lot of pressure on Madonna just the last 2 to 3 minutes. Nothing to show for it so far. The free kick for Madonna is immediately intercepted by Isabel Cerda. Back towards the middle of the field, there's Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa downfield looking for Petrowski, who can't catch up with that ball. It goes out of bounds. It sticks with the Saints. They'll throw it in from the corner here. Cerda will do the honors. Litzy Mendez along the back line, and that ball poked away from her and out of bounds. Another corner kick coming up for St. Francis. So now they're getting these opportunities in bunches. On the opposite end of the field, it's Kelly Petrowski who sets it up to take the kick. Petrowski's ball in front of the net, past Olivia De La Rosa. Grace McDermott tried to creep in, but Julianne White had good defense on her, and White was able to prevent the goal from being scored, or the shot from even getting off from Grace McDermott. Now it's 1 against 2. Destiny Carr trying to make something happen, though, for Madonna. Haley Hoag's not allowing it, so Carr has to pull it back and trust the rest of her team. The ball rolls down into the box. Yadira Estrada steps up and makes that pickup. 1 goal in each half so far for Madonna, so both Ellie Provo and Yadira Estrada have seen 1 go in. That's a handball on Olivia De La Rosa. We'll go the other way. De La Rosa says she was shoved into it and wanted a foul called the other side, but she did get that one with her hand, so the call goes against her. Kristen Ford will take the free kick here for Madonna. Off the head of Brittany Cook. Olivia De La Rosa keeps it moving down the field. There's Kelly Petrowski. Petrowski down the sideline, out of bounds. Looks like a bunch of subs here for Madonna. They bring in Natasha Fike and Madison Servey. And Claire Konopatsky is back in as well. Melissa Benvenuti is out. Moricini is out. And see who else left. Looks like Grace Thomas is on the bench now. Trying to stay fresh and make a run here into the box. This is Porter taking a shot, or Verant rather. Megan Verant took the shot, but Yadira Estrada is able to make the save. 18:40 to play in the second half. Another save for Estrada, keeps the game 2-0. Punted across midfield, tapped back towards the sideline. This is Fike. And knocked to the ground. Natasha Fike called for the foul. She's upset about it. Wanted foul to go the other way, but the Fighting Saints do get the free kick here, set up by Olivia Hollander to push downfield as the Saints chase 2 goals in the last 18 minutes of today's game. Hollander takes the kick. Middle of the field, poked away by Sierra Nissan. Off along the sideline, Isabel Cerda watches it go out. Throw-in coming up for Konopatsky. Pushed back the other direction. 2 teams trading possession right now. Sierra Nissan tries to keep it alive for Madonna. She gets it over to Verant. Verant down the field. Yadira Estrada steps up, and Estrada makes the stop. She came all the way up to the edge of the box, had to wait for the ball to get to her. Grace McDermott tried to guide it into Estrada's hands, and she guided it closely. The 2 of them ended up running into one another at the end of the play. A low-speed collision, though. Punted away by Yadira Estrada. Mendez to Hollander off to the left side. Intercepted by Konopatsky. Konopatsky's pass is quickly intercepted as well. She gets it back, though. There's Isabel Cerda taking it away on the tackle. Cerda works her way towards the middle of the field. Passes to her right. This is Grace McDermott. McDermott rolls it to the near sideline. De La Rosa. De La Rosa is intercepted. Right back to Grace McDermott, though. And out of bounds off the foot of McDermott. This will be a throw in for Madonna. No whistles. There was some contact there. De La Rosa down the middle of the field, and nobody really there for either team, so it rolls all the way back to the goalkeeper, Brooke Bruletti. Despite all the action taking place on this side of the field here in the second half, Brooke Bruletti has not been very much involved. There have been a lot of opportunities for the Saints. Put a lot of pressure on Madonna, but they haven't had too many shots on goal. So Bruletti's had a pretty uneventful second half to this point. Knocked out of bounds. A throw-in coming up from Madonna. Just under 16 minutes to play in the game. Madonna leads 2-0. Grace Thomas scored a goal for them in the first half. Destiny Carr here in the second half. Lobbed into White. White pushes it to Konopatsky in the middle of the field, and Konopatsky falls to the ground. Serta comes away with the loose ball. Serta works her way into the box. Couple of defenders in the way, and it is taken by Madonna and rolled downfield. Julianne White loses it out of bounds, and let's see if Konopatsky is okay to continue. She's limping around, and she was in some clear discomfort as she took to the ground. Nearly disastrous play on the field for Madonna. She fell. And Serta took it towards the box, but the rest of the defense stepped up for Madonna, prevented the goal from scoring. Olivia De La Rosa checks out for St. Francis. New player on the field is Grace Giallo, sophomore from Plainfield. Pushed away towards the sideline, but Julianne White is there for Madonna. Madonna on the attack here. Back to Destiny Carr. Carr towards the middle of the field, hooks up with Nissan. Sierra Nissan trying to work her way around Olivia Hollander. Steps back to the left, takes a shot, saved by Estrada. Rain is falling lightly here in Joliet as the Saints trail Madonna 2-0. It's been a cool day. Very gray and dreary outside. Not a lot of rain has fallen throughout the game. Just a drizzle right now. Konopatsky steps up, taps it off to Varant. Varant rolls it off to the left side, has White. Julianne White with the cross and can't quite get to Carr, but on the back end of that, a shot and a goal. And they are back on the board. Natasha Fike scores that one for Madonna with 13 minutes and 56 seconds remaining. They increase their lead to 3-0. Good cross a little bit past. I thought she was trying to hook up with Destiny Carr. Maybe she was. It got past Carr. But then Fike, the freshman, came in and scored the first goal of her collegiate career. Coming in on the backside and pushing it to the back end of the net. So 3-0 now. Madonna has increased their lead. They've now outscored their opponents 7-1 over their last two games. They have been feasting on CCAC opponents so far this weekend. It's now real desperation time for St. Francis. They need to score, and they need to do so in a hurry. This is Litzy Mendez down into the box. Mendez's cross is deflected out of bounds for a corner kick. Kelly Petrowski's got it set up to take the kick. In front of the net, headed towards the backside. Martina Katurba chases it down, keeps it alive. Over to Giallo. Grace Giallo's ball is headed up into the air, and jumping ahead of everybody to scoop it up is Brooke Bruletti. Good play by Bruletti. Get her hands up over everybody's head and pull that ball down before anyone else could cause any trouble for her. Bruletti punts it down the middle of the field, leading 3-0. Bruletti looking for her second shutout of the season and her third victory in net. Here's Julianne White. White had the assist moments ago. She rolls this one ahead to Varant. Varant trying to add to the lead, but Brittany Cook is able to get in her way and knock that ball out of bounds. Well played defensively that time by Cook to keep the game where it is. Corner kick is set up by Kristen Four. Four's kick is away. It's knocked up into the air. There's a shot and a save. Saved not by the goalkeeper Estrada, but by Grace McDermott. Positioned at the front post. Great defensive play there by McDermott. Knocked back out of bounds. Another corner kick coming up from Madonna. Very nearly made it 4-0 right there. Kristen Four's got it set up again. Here it comes. It's short this time to Nissan. Nissan works her way along the back line. There's the cross, and there's the defense. Knocked away. And pushed well downfield by Petrowski. Down along the near sideline. Litzy Mendez battling for the ball. Can't keep it in bounds. Emma Worthman tosses it back in. Kicked by Petrowski towards the middle. Nobody there for St. Francis. Down the middle of the field, Haley Hogue clears it. Cross midfield. Ball up in the air on the right side. Serta battles with Konopatsky for it. Konopatsky wins that battle. Back on the defensive side. Also risky. There's the header from Hollander. It bounces once. Kicked back by Emma Worthman. 10.5 minutes to play in this game. 3-0, Madonna has the lead. On the far side, this is a good run from Varant. Varant blows by a couple of defenders. There's a shot. Yadira Estrada knocks it down and falls on top of it. Good run, really good run right there from Megan Varant. Not a bad looking shot, but Estrada was able to smother it. Estrada's had a lot to contend with throughout this half. She has allowed 2 goals. She's made some good saves as well, though. Ball has been hit towards her a number of times. Worthman kicks it ahead. Off to the left side, Julianne White. White looking for the cross. There it is in the middle of the field. Off the chest of Fike and out of bounds. Natasha Fike scored her first collegiate goal a few minutes ago. Looking for another one right there. Looks like she may have gotten a shot to the midsection. She is up and walking it off. Ball went out for a goal kick. 9 minutes to play. There's the kick from Estrada. Serta has it poked away by Masariski. Off the back of Madison Hanyon's leg. There's Serta. Back over to Madison Hanyon. Hanyon looking to get it towards the middle of the field. Has Martina Katurba. Katurba has it poked away. Claire Konopatsky can't keep control of it. Out of bounds. Throw-in goes to the Saints' Grace Giallo. Tossed into Serta. Serta tries to turn it upfield. Fike gets in the way, and Serta was the last one to touch that ball before it went out of bounds. Olivia De La Rosa is back in for the Fighting Saints. Isabel Serta, the sophomore, heads back to the bench. Grace Thomas, the early goal scorer, back in for Madonna. Here's Destiny Carr, losing it to Brittany Cook. High into the air, back towards the net. Yadira Estrada knocks it down, but it went out of bounds. It's a corner kick coming up. Or no, sorry, it's a goal kick coming up. Estrada rolled it off towards the corner, but she gets it right back. So it's a goal kick. Saints chasing 3 goals late in this one. Estrada kicks it down the middle. Hanyon off the head of Petrowski, and Petrowski was offsides. Getting late in this one, under 7 minutes to play. Here's Julianne White. White turns it upfield. Sent away by Olivia Hollander. Now the ball is loose. Martina Katurba is able to get there first. Katurba battling with Varant to keep it alive, and she does keep it alive. Nice work by Katurba. Hit the ground, got right back up, and kept going. But the ball ultimately falls back towards the goalkeeper, Brooke Bruletti, and Bruletti quickly clears it. Here's Katurba again. Katurba forced to the ground. No foul called. Madison Servey keeps it going for Madonna, and Servey loses the ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming up here for Madonna. Tossed in, Karina Arnold for Destiny Carr, and it was intercepted by Brittany Cook. Now deep down the sideline, White goes up against Grace McDermott. White trying to get around McDermott, stops the ball. McDermott stays in front of her, and White gives it up to Karina Arnold. Off to the right, Grace Thomas. Thomas loses it off the first touch. Olivia De La Rosa initially took it away. Now Madonna gets it back. Destiny Carr in the box, takes a shot. Diving stop, Yadira Estrada. The ball loose in front of the net, cleared by McDermott. Well done by Estrada, and then McDermott came in and did her job as well. So the save is made, and now the Saints have an opportunity to clear it as they get the throw in. Taken away from De La Rosa by Grace Thomas. Ball loose in front of the net. Olivia Hollander pushes it out of bounds on the far side. Tossed into Konopatsky, gets past her. Mendez chases it down. Mendez gives it up to Katurba. Katurba loses the ball out of bounds. That one was not deflected, so it's a throw in for Madonna. They lead St. Francis 3-0 with 5 minutes to play. Fighting Saints get a throw in now. Grace Giallo on the far sideline, trying, if nothing else, to break up the shutout here. Saints looking for at least one goal in the last couple of minutes. Whistle blows, foul called against the Fighting Saints. Ball is positioned by Madison Servey to take the kick. Servey from Rockwood, Michigan, sends it down the middle of the field, deflected back towards the net. There's a shot from Varant and a save from Yadira Estrada. Just about all of the players on Madonna are from Michigan. They've got a couple that we have not seen in today's game who are from Ontario, Canada. Kelly Petrowski makes a run. Petrowski into the box. She's halted by Worthman and cleared by Masaryski. Timeout is called as there's an injured player down on the field. There's an injured Madonna player, and she is lying on her back towards the middle of the field, so play is stopped with 4 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Madonna's got 45 players on their roster. It's about twice what St. Francis has. It's actually a little bit more than twice what St. Francis has. They're all locals. Again, they've got the 3 players from Ontario, which is not far from Madonna, located in Livonia, Michigan. Every other player on the roster is from the state of Michigan. 42 of the 45, I think I counted right. The other 3 are from Canada. Player they're looking at right now is Madison Servey. Servey was down on her back on the field. She is up into a sitting position, and now they've got her standing up and walking off the field. With just over 4 minutes to play, Servey will likely watch the rest of this game from the bench, but she is walking off the field under her own power. Just a slight limp. And we'll be ready to continue in a matter of a few seconds here. Madonna up by 3. They got a 10th minute goal from Grace Thomas, and if the Saints are unable to score here, that'll go down as the game winner. Though they did add 2 more goals in the second half. One from Destiny Carr and one from Natasha Fike. Servey is off the field. Ball is put back in play by Madonna. Here we go. There's the big kick from the goalkeeper, Bruletti. Back into St. Francis territory. About 10 yards beyond midfield, knocked out of bounds. Another throw in for Madonna. Varant over to Grace Thomas. Thomas crosses it, and nobody there. A quick clearance from Grace McDermott, but right back to Madonna, and a long-range shot taken by Grace Thomas sails out of bounds. McDermott looked a little bit uncomfortable when she hit that ball. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but didn't go where she wanted it to. It ended up bouncing right back in front of Grace Thomas, who had a fairly open shot from about 20 yards out. She missed it too high, though. Middle of the field, Madonna trying to take control. This is Karina Arnold passing back to Masariski. Sent downfield, it bounces into the box, picked up by Yadira Estrada. Estrada's punt goes high in the air, gets across midfield, headed back out of bounds by Kelly Petrowski. Under 3 minutes to play as Madonna sets up for the throw-in. They're certainly not in a hurry, not actively trying to waste time right now, but with a 3-goal lead late. A little bit cavalier on these balls that go out of bounds, and they're in certainly no rush right now as the game comes near its conclusion. They're trying to finish off their second shutout victory of the year. First one came back in their season opener, a 1-0 win against Huntington. They've not allowed more than 2 goals in any of their 5 games this year. So they've been very good defensively up and down over the first nearly a month now of this season. Kristen Four crosses it, headed up in the air by Hanyon. Loose in the box. Grace Thomas pulls it in. Thomas passes out to Four. Four trying to set up one more goal. There's a shot, and it goes wide. It's out for a corner kick. Yadira Estrada made a diving attempt for that one. She did touch it. I don't think she really deflected it significantly. That ball wasn't going to go in regardless, but Estrada couldn't take any chances, so she laid out to try to make the play, was not able to pull it in, and the deflection ends up creating a corner kick. The kick is sent in, past Varant, and to the backside. Kelly Petrowski watches it go all the way out of bounds. Throw-in belongs to St. Francis, and they'll get a chance here with just over a minute left to make one last run at scoring a goal here. Trying to put together one more good attack. They had several of them earlier in this half and late in the first half as well, though they were not able to get any goals out of it. Ball is sent in off the head of Petrowski. Downfield, Masariski is there to take it away, and Litzy Mendez tackles it away from her. Mendez tries to get by one defender. She does. Mendez around the goalkeeper, tripped up, and the ball goes out of bounds. Great run there by Litzy Mendez, but a great stop as well by Brooke Bruletti. It sets up a corner kick, and this will surely be the last chance for St. Francis to get on the board. Good play by Bruletti. She tackled her. You can do that as the goalkeeper, going for the ball. Mendez hit the ground, sets up the corner kick. Petrowski pushes the kick in front of the net, off the head of De La Rosa. Couldn't get anything on it. Now from the backside, it's Olivia Hollander, or Brittany Cook rather, and her shot is saved by Bruletti. That's how the game ends. Bruletti punts it away. It bounces once, and we've got our buzzer. The game comes to a close with Madonna coming into Joliet and defeating St. Francis by a final score of 3-0. Madonna scored early, and they were able to ride that early goal all the way to the victory. They added a few more in the second half. They weren't, strictly speaking, necessary, but it always pays to have a little insurance. Madonna had it. They played a very good game today, and they're able to beat St. Francis. Looking back at the scoring in today's game, it started in the 10th minute. Grace Thomas received a pass off of a corner kick. It was set up by Alexandra Sherlock, who shortly after that had to leave the game with an injury and did not reappear, but she got the assist. It was her first assist this year. Grace Thomas got the goal, and that gave Madonna a 1-0 lead just over 9 minutes in. St. Francis picked up their defense after that. They picked up their offense as well. They had some good chances late in the first half. Were not able to come away with a goal. Their closest came in the final seconds. With 1 second on the clock, Mary Kate Hynek took a desperation shot, and it was saved by Brooke Bruletti, a really impressive save by Bruletti to keep the shutout intact at halftime. It was 1-0. And then relatively early in the second half, Destiny Carr had just come in off the bench. Carr, in the 61st minute, was able to score her first goal of the year, pushing it past the new goalkeeper Yadira Estrada to make it 2-0. About 15 minutes after that, Natasha Fike scored her first goal collegiately off a nice assist from Julianne White. That made it 3-0 Madonna, and that's how the game would end. Saints kept pushing, they kept fighting. Came up empty, though, in the end, as they are shut out for the first time this year in just their second game of the year. They fell to Clark 2-1 on August 21st, and now today a 3-0 loss to Madonna. Their next game is also going to be at home. They won't have to wait quite as long. It's next weekend. On Saturday, they take on another Michigan school, Cleary, at 1 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. That game right here at Joliet Memorial Stadium, and if you can't make it out here, we'll have the broadcast for you right here through the St. Francis website, YouTube page, and the Facebook page as well. The Saints against Cleary next Saturday at 1. Again, our final score today, Madonna 3, St. Francis 0. That'll do it for our broadcast. Time for me to say goodbye, and so I'll do just that. Back at it next Saturday afternoon. Until that time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.